Hi everyone, welcome back to another video from WesKnows Tech News and Reviews. Today, I'm going to be telling you about my frustrations with the all-new HUAWEI watch GT3. In my opinion, and this is being bluntly honest, this watch is overpriced. And if you've been watching the WesKnows Tech News and Reviews channel, you would know how much I really enjoy HUAWEI watches. HUAWEI Watch GT2 was absolutely amazing. It was a super duper smartwatch for the budget price. The GT3, in my opinion, is overpriced and overly flawed and has too many gimmicks. Now, anyways, I'm going to vent my frustrations, but with facts. So let's get into the intro and then into the details. If you are new to WesKnows Tech News and Reviews, we talk about the latest tech news. We do brutally honest reviews and share hacks and tricks along the way. Now let me show you the actual watch and a quick summary about it. So basically there are two sizes available. This is the 46mm version, 1.43 inch AMOLED display. This is a fairly big watch. Now I've got a medium-sized wrist, about 6.5 to 7 inches, and yet this piece looks quite big in it. Also, there's a smaller version for the smaller wrists, and that is the 42mm version. There you get a 1.32 inch AMOLED display, also lovely. So we're not talking the aesthetics of this watch, because I think it is a handsome watch, both the 42mm as well as the 46mm. The problems or the beef that I've got with this watch is the lack of improvements that we've seen from the prior model and the current issues. So I've had this watch for a week now and I've just had blunders upon blunders with it. So let me tell you all about them, starting from 1 going all the way to 7. So number 1 is the most annoying thing about this watch, and that is the Bluetooth connection, because it keeps on dropping on you. And it's not just, drop and reconnect. That would be only half an issue. The problem is the watch disconnects itself from my iOS device as well as my Android device. So it's not specific to an iPhone or an Android device. No, it's a bug within the software of the watch. So basically what happens? You get disconnected, and that means you can't reconnect back to your app. Sometimes you can, but on most occasions you have to reset the actual watch, because there is no way to delete the watch from the app. You have to reset the watch and redo the full connection. Doesn't take that much. It takes only about 2-3 minutes. But seriously, I have to do this a number of times per day, because I have to test the watch while I'm working out. I have to make reviews of it, so I do use it quite extensively. But I've never faced such connection issues in any smartwatch previously. This is a major and a very annoying bug. It might get fixed by the developers, I don't know. But currently, as it stands, it's a no-go. I feel frustrated and just not happy. Anyway, let's get on to number 2, because there's more of these annoyances coming. The big claim to fame of the HUAWEI Watch GT3 was the all-new Rotatable Crown. Now, it does sound flash, doesn't it? Everybody seems to go for a rotatable crown today. You've got the Samsungs, you've got a Mass Fit, and here we have it with the HUAWEI GT3. Now, let's be frank, it's a gimmick, but we'll get onto the gimmick functionalities just a bit later. Firstly, let me tell you about this rotatable crown. So first of all, it's large, as in it's larger, it actually sticks out from the watch case, and that makes it mighty inconvenient. So let me give you an example. I was doing a heart rate accuracy test, and I was doing it while I was skipping rope, because that really gets the intensity up there. It shows you quite a lot of the high peaks, low throws. It's great for doing a heart rate accuracy test versus the Polar H10 ECG chest strap. But the problems I faced is that while I'm skipping and turning my wrist, I have pressed this button, the rotatable crown, a number of times. Even though the pressing motion is quite good and solid on this watch, it's still, the crown is just too large. And I've pressed it, my workout has paused, and that's it. On a number of occasions, somehow, probably the sweat dropping on the screen, but it stopped. And only on my third attempt could I get a readable result. And considering I have to do a number of these tests to make sure that I don't get bogus values, this was a very frustrating experience. Also, yesterday I was doing some weights at the gym, and again, while doing the bench, I have accidentally pressed the rotatable crown at least twice. So frustrating again. I think they put it in there just to be in with the trend, but the actual design of it, so if you think about the design, yes, it's rigid around the edges, but it's just so plain, it's vanilla, it's not interesting. And the fact is, you can turn it up and down, it doesn't do anything unless you go into a specific function. But that's another point altogether. So let's get on to number 3, and we'll talk about the gimmicks of this rotatable crown. Now, as we know it, a rotatable crown is there to ease your UI experience, right? It's to give you a bit more interactivity with your watch, to feel it, to make it more convenient to use. But the rotatable crown on the GT3 is pretty much pointless because it provides you two functions. If you choose your home menu to be in list style, it can scroll through up and down as you twist the rotatable crown. Or if you do have the gimmick view of the Apple Watch, where you have all your apps laid out in front of you on the home screen, you can either zoom in or zoom out. Now, to me, these functions are completely useless, because same way I could just be using my finger to go up and down the list, and that could actually be more precise than using the crown. Also, the zoom in and zoom out function, it's pretty much pointless because I might as well just use my finger, which does make a more interactive and a more interesting experience. So in personal opinion, this rotatable crown is completely and utterly useless. And in fact, it reduces the convenience of the watch. If it was a stylized feature, maybe, but it's not exactly stylish either. Just have a look the way it sticks out. It's not the best looking rotatable crown. Anyway, let's get on to number 4. The GT3 also brought a new function in, and that is temperature measurement. Well, that's great. On skin temperature measurement, everybody seems to go in there today. So you've got the Fitbits running in there, you've got Samsung running in there, but why? This function does not provide anything useful if you think about it. So considering my body temperature is 36.6 degrees Celsius or somewhere around that, outside it's cold, so we're going to see a much lower temperature. Now, I understand this is the trend in the market. Everyone's getting a temperature gauge. So HUAWEI jumps in and does it as well, but why? Why not have a lesson from what the other companies have done out there, what the other manufacturers have done? And there is no value add to the temperature gauge. Then why put it in as well and actually promote it as a feature? Yeah, it's a feature, but it's a useless feature in today's world. Yes, considering the temperature gauge will be optimized and it will provide you a true body temperature, great. But currently, just adding a thermometer that averages the temperature between your skin and your environment, pretty much useless. Anyway, let's keep going to number 5. As we know it, HUAWEI GT2 has offered 100 sport modes. That was the first company out there that offered that many sport modes. Well, apart from the Garmins and the Polars of this world. The 100 sport modes were great. They were fun. I think that was a great feature. So considering that this is the all-new watch and Amazfit has actually managed to pack in 150 sport modes on their latest GTR and GTS3 models, then I would consider the GT3 would at least accommodate those sport modes as well, considering the price here is higher than the top of the range Amazfit GTR3. So Huawei GT3 did add some more satellite networks to give you that extra geolocation positioning. Well, that's great, but that's what every new generation has to do anyway. You have to improve on your prior mistakes if you want to get the watches sold. Also, we were said that the optical heart rate sensor on the back of this will be up to 96% as accurate as the Polar H10 ECG chest strap. Well, that's nice. Now, is that a premium feature? I don't know, because a budget smartwatch from Amazfit, the GTS 2 Mini, is within 98% as accurate, but it costs 3 times as little, so 30% of this baby's price. What I'm trying to say here is that 100 sport modes did not increase. Geo-positioning has improved. Well, maybe we're yet to test that. I've tried out the actual heart rate accuracy. Yes, it's good, but it's just improved from the prior model. There are 13 running courses as they were on the GT2. They remained in here. Nothing changed. There is just no jump in efficiency nor offering in this watch. I just don't feel it. Let's talk about number 6 now. This is another gimmick from the GT3 which is so frustrating. Okay, so the GT3 has brought about a new app called Healthy Living, and it looks great. It looks like a clover leaf on a white background. It looks really healthy, really nice, but it's a gimmick because I found it to be completely useless. I will explain why. So this is actually a goal-based app that looks at 5 different factors, and it gives you your marks. Yeah, how did you do during the day for them? So let's, for example, take drink water. So it's got 1.5 liters here. So this is a gimmick very similar to what Fitbit has in its app range, where I have to go into my app and what? Input every time I have a glass of water? You're not gonna do that. You are just not going to do that. Well, somebody may, but that's only like probably 5% of the total users of this watch. Number 2, going to bed and getting up. So the recommended going to bed here is 11 p.m. Now, in my lifestyle, I just can't do that. If I go to bed by midnight, I'm a happy chap. Now, I've actually tried to adjust this in the app, and you can't. If it's after 11 p.m., you just can't put that value in. Why? What's wrong with that? It's just, so this is not healthy living. This is basically a very simple app. This app is completely nonsensical to me. You can't adjust it. You can set up your step goals in here, but they only go up to 10,000. Now, for me, 10,000 is nothing, because my usual daily goals is walking anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 per day. But I have no ability to change the max of 10,000 steps within the app. This is, again, another gimmick that was brought about to basically look great, send another smoke screen to the marketing guys out there. But really, what value are you getting from there? I would say close to 0. This is not the PI or the personal activity index that you get on the Amazfit and the Xiaomi watches, where it sums up your sleep, your intensity levels to give you this one number which tells you about your respiratory health. Now that is useful. But with the Healthy Living app, gimmick, completely and utterly. Now let's get on to the 7th annoying thing I found with the GT3. Let's get into it. Quite an unpopular topic, price. Well, of course, that is a major consideration. So let's talk about it. The 46mm version, £230. That's what I paid when I got it on Amazon UK. So that's around 300 bucks. That's a whole lot of dosh. Now for the 42mm version, you'll be paying slightly less, around £200 or 250 bucks. Mind you, that's not cheap, that's not budget. As soon as you jump outside of the £200 range, well, in my opinion, you become a premium item. Well, 200 bucks for this, when this was not a major step up from the previous model. I don't know. Same amount of sport modes. There are no downloadable apps. Everything that this watch has on there has been bettered by the Amazfit GTR3 Pro. But that costs 180 quid. And I've seen it on Christmas and already New Year's sales for as low as 150 pounds or 200 bucks. But there, the Rotatable Crown is actually stylized. It's very much convenient and it is actually useful. The UI is more thought through. You don't get these apps which basically make no sense. So, I don't know. I think the price of the GT3 is blown out. And considering I love Huawei smartwatches, well, I used to. Now I'm just not sure. If you recall, I'm actually gonna put a link just above me right now. We have the GT2 Pro. Now that is an amazing smartwatch. It looks stunning. The functionalities are great. And it's cheaper than this one by about 25%. But that watch, wowzers. No rotatable crown, it's just functionality and looks. And it does it for a price of about 150 pounds or 200 bucks. Should you upgrade to this one or should you get it brand new? I don't know. It's very difficult for me to recommend. Now I've done the initial impressions review of the GT3. I've said all about the function. I've told you all about the functions that this watch has. Now this is a true, honest review of my experience of the GT3. And of course there will be more heart rate accuracy tests, GPS accuracy tests coming along. But I had to share this with you because you are looking to spend quite a bit of money on a premium device. But are you getting the premiums? Maybe, because you are getting continuous SpO2 monitoring. That's great. You are getting accurate heart rate accuracy. That's great. But I think that you can get a better deal with other brands. Anyways, thank you for watching this frustrating but honest review, a personal experience review of the Huawei GT3 46mm. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please drop me a like. And if you want to see more of the same, please hit the red subscribe button below the video. And I'll see you in the next one.